Hey y'all, happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Story Time. Again, it's just me hosting today, but I am so excited to bring this episode to you. I know we say this every single episode in the intros, but I think it goes to show how fun the show is that Ashley and I can get excited about every single guest. Today's episode features one of my favorite members of the Phoenix Suns, Elie Okobo, who I've actually been trying to interview since he was drafted back in my iHeart days in Phoenix. So I was so thrilled that we were able to make it happen. Elie is one of the nicest guys, and I could not be happier with how the interview turned out. And I think everybody watched, or everybody that knows sports, watched what happened when Rudy Gobert's positive COVID test came back, and the entire league shut down before our eyes, everybody trying to figure out on national television what was going on. Well, now you can hear from Elie on what it was like from a player standpoint, what the bubble was like, and so much more. So stay tuned. I know you're going to love this one. All right, welcome back. We are here with Phoenix Suns member Elie Okobo. Elie, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So I know we'll get into the COVID talk a little bit later, but I know normally it's supposed to be preseason right now and the finals just ended. So what are you doing right now? Are you still trying to work out? How has it changed your schedule at all?
Yeah, it's like really weird. It's just changed a lot. But I've been working out a lot this summer in France, and I came back here in Phoenix at the end of September, and I've been working out with the coaching staff here.
Very cool. And then on the topic of France, we'll start. You were born and raised there, and obviously played at the international level for the country. But what made you want to start playing basketball? Like, what really built your passion for the game?
So when I was a kid, I'll say I was like 2, 3 years old. I was trying to do everything my dad was doing, like dress like him, whatever. Like
Oh,
he was a semi-pro, like he was not playing at a high level, but like still like good level. And I was going to his practices every time, to his games, and I always had a basketball in my hand. And he kind of coaching me on the side, and I always loved it. And since like a young age, I always played basketball.
that's awesome. And then, like I mentioned, you were chosen to represent France in different FIBA tournaments. Not very many people get the honor to represent their country, especially at the young age that you were at for all those different games. So, how big of an honor was it to be able to represent France?
It's great. I mean, you have the French, France on your like jersey with your name on it, and you represent your country, and you play at a high level against like Spain, other like big basketball country, and you just gotta you know lead by example, play well, and it's like always a good experience because you travel as well.
And then in 2018, you were drafted by the Suns. What was it like just making the transition from France to the US? Was it a culture shock? So, two-part question. So, what was the difference? And then, second, what was it like being drafted by the Phoenix Suns, both for you and your loved ones?
So the answer to your question, like I always loved the American culture since a young age, and the more and more I was playing basketball when I turned pro, I had American teammates, so I kind of learned the language like that, learned the culture, like going to their house to do barbecues or like stuff like this, celebrate Thanksgiving over there in France. So I always like love the culture, and I kind of got used to it. But when I moved here, it was really different because it's everything in English. Like the lifestyle is crazy. Everything is big, huge, and you need to adjust. And being drafted by Phoenix was something like amazing for me. It was a dream come true. Being drafted in the NBA, the city of Phoenix. I love it. I knew I was gonna get the good weather and like all that stuff, on the side. But being drafted and being able to play in the NBA against the best player in the world, I mean, this is what I wanted since a young age.
So, you've been in Phoenix for a couple of years now. So, what is your favorite part about Arizona?
I'll say the weather. I thought I couldn't handle it because it's really hot, but it's dry. It's not humid, so it's easy for me. Um, the people are really nice. You're kind of close to a lot of things, like big cities or like you have the Grand Canyon. You have good trails and everything. And I mean, I love Phoenix. It's a really cool spot.
And the winter is the best because you don't have to deal with snow. And every year on Christmas, I used to wear shorts and a sweatshirt and I was fine. So you get that weather.
Exactly. You just get a short. You just get a hoodie, and you spend winter like this. It's easy.
For sure. And has there been any player that you've played against while with the Suns where you got a little starstruck, or maybe somebody that you had looked up to that you finally got to play against?
Oh, in the league,
Hmm.
yeah, LeBron is my favorite player all time. And so the first game we played the Lakers, I didn't play, but I couldn't hear him uh, get into the court to start warming up, and I heard the crowd was going crazy. It was in Phoenix, and
Hmm.
I felt like, oh my God, are we at the Staples Center or something? Because they were so loud, and like being able to see him and watch him play, and then play against him later on that year, like it was crazy. Just like you play against your idol.
Yeah, I actually worked for the Suns the 2013-2014 season. So I remember every time the Lakers would come, um, who else? When the Thunder would come with KD, it was like it was a visiting or an away game for the Suns because the visiting fans would like pack it. I remember like Kobe Bryant walked by. He wasn't dressed out. He was just in a suit. And Kevin Durant, and I'd be like, oh my God, these are like, I'm not even a huge basketball person. I never played. I was a cheerleader, but it was just like seeing those presents. Like, I don't know if it's the height or what, but it was cool. So I couldn't even imagine playing against them.
Yeah,
So
you can feel they have something special in them, and they just have this big aura where you can feel like the power and the way what they what they mean to all these fans and all these
mhm.
people. And yeah, every time Golden State, like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant was coming in, it was the same thing. When LeBron was coming in, when Giannis was coming in, like
Mhm.
there's big names and big players. Like you know, I always look up to them.
That's awesome. And then all the teams, thanks to COVID, were all in one place in Orlando for the NBA bubble. Kind of take me through, because I know I remember as somebody that works in sports still watching the game with Rudy Gobert getting the positive test and everything shut down. And I'm like, we just witnessed the NBA shut down. So as a player, what was that like to watch it? And then what was kind of the aftermath going into finally deciding, okay, there's going to be a bubble, we're going to go to Orlando?
It was weird because like people were talking more and more about Corona, and like they started to tell us stop giving handshake to fans, make sure you wash your hands, be careful for this and that, don't go out too much and everything. And I was actually like doing my groceries, and I just saw like the tweet about it,
Mhm.
and I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, so like tomorrow I don't have to, we don't have a practice tomorrow,
Mhm.
like in 2 days we don't have a game. What's going on? And it felt really real because I never thought the NBA would cancel one day and would shut down. And then you just kind of just keep working at home during the quarantine, respect the rules, and just wait for something to happen. And Adam Silver told us like that we'll have an NBA bubble, and we got lucky to make it. And going there was a great experience, and I think the NBA did an amazing job on that.
For sure. I know everybody was praising Adam Silver because there were no positive tests. Like, he did such a good job with it. So that was amazing to see. And I definitely think other leagues should follow in his footsteps and the rules that he did. But the Suns had such a good run. Y'all were amazing in the bubble. 8-0. Like, I don't think very many people at the beginning would have been like, all right, the Suns are going to go undefeated against some amazing teams. And when I worked for the Suns, it was kind of the same thing. They were one game out of the playoffs. We had players like Channing Frye, Goran Dragic, Eric Bledsoe, the Morris twins. There was so much excitement around that team. But to see it around you guys this year, how special is it to check Twitter and just see that people around the country, around the world, were like, is anybody watching the Suns right now?
Yeah, it was crazy because I think nobody thought that, I think most of the people we thought would go 0-8, for example, and being able to prove them wrong. And I think we kind of earned a little bit of respect from the league. Um, we show that we are a team that compete a lot. They're just dogs. They want to win. They just play great together. They have a good chemistry, and this is what we wanted to show. Of course, we wanted to make the playoffs, and we missed the playoffs from one game.
Mhm.
So it was really frustrating, but being able to to look back at it and see that we just won 8 games in a row and didn't lose, and show that we actually can play and we're not the bad Suns Phoenix team.
Exactly. It was so fun watching you guys. There were a couple players on my team, our Reno soccer team, that are from Arizona. So we loved just talking Suns basketball the whole time. It was so fun. So besides the 8-0 record, what was the best thing? Because I know obviously the bubble's not an ideal situation. Nobody wants to be, granted you're at zero, but nobody wants to be confined to a hotel. But what was the best thing to come out of the bubble, or what's a really good story that you have from Orlando?
I mean, it wasn't that bad like people think. It was really easy for the players. We had our hotel room. Just needed to do a test every day. It was restaurants inside the bubble. It was golf course and all of this lounge with video game, ping pong table and pool tables. So it wasn't that bad. And being able to, it was like the Utah Jazz, the Orlando Magic, the Brooklyn Nets, and all three of those teams has French players.
Mhm.
So being able to be all together at the same spot, it was really good. And we were just going to dinner, Washington also. We were going to dinner. We were going to, golf, doing all of this. And it was kind of fun. It was like a big camp, like a big road trip at the same spot where you're playing different teams. And it was a good experience.
That's really special. So now you're in the off season, just chilling in Phoenix. So do you have a player on the team or a teammate that you get to hang out with during the off season, or does everybody kind of go their separate ways and you see them again in preseason? What is that kind of like?
Um, I mean, people are at different cities or they actually here. I like to hang out with Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker, Cameron Johnson, and all those guys. I mean, they're all cool. Kelly Oubre too, and I mean, obviously, people have they thing to do. They have their friends, they have their family, they doing their own thing. But we kind of see each other at the gym. I went to LA to see Devin 2 weeks ago. Tonight we all going to dinner because tomorrow's my birthday. So
Oh, happy early birthday.
yeah, so I mean, we really had a good chemistry, and all the guys were really cool with each other, and it was like a special year. It felt good.
I love that. And so, just so you know, this episode's airing after we record it, like a week after. So, I can ask you this without people stalking you guys. Where are you going to dinner tonight?
I'm going to Stack 44.
Ooh, that's a solid choice.
Yeah, it's
Have you
good.
been there before?
Yeah, multiple times. I love it. I love it. It's really good.
There you go. And one other question I have for you. So, I was kind of reading up on you and what you enjoy outside of basketball, just because I was like, I don't want to sound stupid on this call, but I heard that you love sneakers. So, I just want to know, how many pairs of sneakers do you have, and which one's your favorite pair to wear? And which one will you not wear because you don't want to get it messy or ruined?
Um, I have a lot of sneakers. To be honest, I didn't really count. I have a room out there full of sneakers.
Oh my
All
gosh.
Nike, Jordan, designer shoes, all of that. So, I mean, I kind of wear, I can't change every day. Every day, is different type of shoes. I love the Nikes. I love some Nike SBs, some Jordan ones, Air Maxes, Air Forces with the Off-White collab.
Okay.
No, I mean a bunch of stuff. I just kind of wear with the flow, with the way I dress, and like the moment.
How many pairs did you bring to Orlando? A bunch?
15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
That's
just
crazy.
want to make sure, I had a little drip coming in.
Did you see how many pairs PJ Tucker brought though? It was insane.
That was crazy. He,
Do you know him at all? I feel like you guys would be good at like comparing collections.
I don't know him personally. I mean, he did like a kind of like a sneaker thing in Phoenix after a game where we play Houston.
Mhm.
But yeah, he seems cool. He loves sneakers and he just show off his drip every time.
I know he just has so much swag. It's unreal. All right. Well, Elie, thank you so much for the time. Tell everybody where they can follow you on social media.
You guys can follow me on Instagram, Elie Okobo, Twitter, Elie Okobo too, and like just follow me, see what I'm doing and all that. And appreciate you guys for having me today.
Of course, we'll stay safe the rest of the off season, and I look forward to cheering for you when the 2021 season starts back.
Thank you so much.